Hour Creative Conversations has really expanded in a way that I cannot even express. So thank you for the units that you had, walking us step by step, because YouTube is not intuitive. And I had set things up incorrectly where was trying to state that my videos were kid friendly so that a mom would not feel like I can't watch this video unless I'm in seclusion, because you never know what's going to pop on some of those videos. I had mistakenly click that button of yes, children, and you're like, don't do that because you can't have comments and blah, blah, blah. And you were just walking through the units. So I've gone through those several units and had a great success. I'm now being picked up by 20 different stations because of the yes, thank you. Do the Snoopy happy dance, because they are looking at syndicating not just one of my channels, but all of my channels because of the content and because I have finally been able to use the hashtag. So how to get on a podcast as an author, how to get on a podcast as a nonfiction author, how to get on a podcast as a fictional author, mystery. And I did what you recommended as far as all 10 of those podcasts. And I haven't even made it through all 10, I'll be honest, because now I have 25 authors who have signed up. Now, true, I had all this automation in place because of my business, but because all that was already in place and I just needed your little, gentle fine tuning of what I was doing, I now have 25 authors and more coming on every day to get onto my show, which is why the syndication unit picked up on it. And so I didn't have to have the subscribers of 100 like YouTube demands. Sometimes you just need to fine tune it enough so you're seen by somebody else, and you have your Facebook group, and you have your YouTube channel, and you have your automated calendar system and one landing page on your website that you can direct people to sign up, and it just kind of explodes on you. So just wanted to say thank you, Trevor.
You're welcome. And this just goes to show that I don't need to do any of the work. You have it all inside you, and I'm just a catalyst of like, let's just put it together.
You just need that fine tuning, right? I call it that 20%. Most of the clients I have are in debt. And so I do the Financial First Responder. That's the other YouTube channel. And so I started doing these 3-minute money tips before I ever met you. Well, I had to go back through all my videos and click, change all that. And as soon as I changed all that, I was seen by a financial planner on the East Coast. And there's a person that is running for New York City mayor. They found my book, they found the 3-minute money tips, and now I'm coaching a politician on some of the things they can do for New York City school system. That never would have happened if I hadn't figured out, it's that snowball effect, right? You change that one little keystone, and the next thing you know, things are opening up for you. So I just wanted to say thank you. Both of my channels are now more popular than they've ever been, just because I just didn't know. I thought I was trying to keep my content friendly and like you can watch this in front of your children. What I didn't know was I was actually shutting down how YouTube would allow access to that video. Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's so beautiful. I love it.
So I wanted to call and tell you.
I love it when people get on my calendar. I'm like, oh, cool. What can I help you out with today? And they're like, no, I just wanted to share this life-changing success. And yeah, I'm just doing this now and this now. And it's like, oh, yeah, last week I had a client reach out to me and go, hey, remember those strategies and things that you were teaching me last year? And I said, yeah. And I said, I just broke the 7-figure mark because of what had happened. It's like I was struggling, doing all this stuff. And then overnight success. And it's like, that's it.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Janine.
Right. So if you put all that stuff in place, and that struggle, I just want to share, that struggle was necessary because you had to lay a foundation. And I'm sorry, if anyone has ever dug foundation for a building and had to do that because their dad laid concrete for a living, you understand how sometimes it's a pickaxe because you're just trying to get through rock. Sometimes you actually have a chisel and a hammer because there's a huge boulder you don't want to move. So there's certain things that you do have to kind of, I hate to use the word struggle because you're so passionate about it. It's like, I'm going to get through this, right? Because you have a job that you've got to do and you've been gifted with that purpose. And so I knew that to the core of my being. I just didn't know how to make it happen for myself. And so when I run into people like yourself who are like, here, let me help you with this, come on to board, try this, see if it works for you. And it does. And I was trying it with something that wasn't even in my funnel for money making, but I made it. So one of the things I can teach people is if they are authors, I get people their media kit put together, and I am now teaching PR firms in LA. This was another crazy thing, who came on and they wanted to start putting their authors on my show. And I said, send me their media kit, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, what do you mean a media kit? And I'm like, excuse me, how long have you been in PR? And this is the,
yeah.
You're a PR firm. Well, they're a PR firm, but they're used to doing physical events. These people are used to getting the Chinese theater and being able, you know what I mean, opening it up for those, high profile movies and stuff. They aren't used to authors in the digital media. I'm like, I don't want to have to go to the website and drag and drop all that stuff. I want it all on a Google Doc so I can drag and drop, make my thumbnails, boom, out there. And this was a whole new territory for them. And so they're now sending me all their first time authors, and they're taking my media kit course and I say $37 and 2 hours, and you will have a media kit. And then the rest of it goes in, and now I have a funnel and everything is making money, so I can keep the platform running so that I can keep being of service to my community. So everybody wins, wins, wins.
It's beautiful.
So thank you. I know, right?
Absolutely. And have you thought about teaching this skill set of how to leverage YouTube for their book launch? Are you going to be implementing that at all into this?
No, that's where you and I are going to collaborate, because, and that was part of where I was coming on board with this, is that, you know, when you are finished the relocation of your business and your office, when all that gets done, then I would like to work with you on being able to come up with, we do set that up, and you talk YouTube, I talk about the funneling system. And that to me, I think is a very perfect collaboration for two YouTubers. Yeah.
It's going to be so wonderful. And I love how you literally launched into a new industry in solving a huge problem for PR firms. I was like, wait a second, they don't know what a media kit is? Like, what is this?
Not if you're used to doing physical events, you're used to green rooms, you're used to television where it's all very physical.
Yeah.
The YouTube space is millennial driven. The millennials took YouTube because my generation, I hate to admit it, but it's true, we were in MySpace, and the pornographic group got into it before YouTube came out. YouTube came out, and now that there's all these different situations that have popped up from that. But please realize it was either MySpace or nothing. And so Facebook didn't come on until a little bit later. So I've been an author so long, I understand where these people are coming from. It was like, you didn't get into digital because you didn't want to be affiliated with some of the characters that were out there. And please realize it was the porn industry that really drove the digital video stuff. And they laid the money down and the financing and got the infrastructure. So when everybody kind of badmouths porn, I don't want to get too much, but it really was the money that set it up so that a YouTube could then be used. And a lot of people don't want to talk about that, but that's that's a statement of fact there. So anyway.
So so which platforms did you change your financial your books, your financial?
Yeah, financial first response. Yeah.
Financial first response. And what's the other YouTube channel?
Well, I created a new one because I didn't want to take the time to go back and have to retrofit financial first response. So I created a whole new channel. As I was taking your courses, I built that channel and I was taking your advice, and I kept on thinking, well, what can I talk about that's not money? Because that's my 9 to 5. What can I talk about that's passionate about? Well, I love authors. I want to help authors. A lot of them don't understand podcasting. A lot of them don't know how to promote themselves. And so it just lent itself. It kind of built itself as I was taking your courses and doing all of that. So I built brand new, and it came up with a whole new revenue stream for me.
Oh my gosh. What's the name of that one?
It's the Writer's Hour and / Creative Conversations. And I started off with you just taking your course, and I was like, well, yeah, I'll just throw this together. And yeah, it's a whole new net revenue stream. And my financial guy that helps me understand what courses are doing well and which ones aren't, because I have an online university, he was like, wait, what's this T8, the Writer's Hour, the THW or whatever, CC, what is that? It keeps coming through. I had made $528 on this little 2-hour course that I was throwing together because I was learning from you. That was my student project.
So you're kind of just like testing it out, and you're like, oh.
And it went. So I have now had the ability to speak to someone that is running for mayor of New York City. I have been able to talk to a multi-million-dollar PR firm in LA, and I just finished speaking with a publisher, and I'm now going to help them with their book launch. Now, I'm not making any money off any of these 3 things, but they are now funnels. Like, they're funneling their people to me because people don't know how to market once they come up with this 3-dimensional product of a book. And the PR firm is now sending them to me because I'm such a good interviewer. I've been on radio since 1987. I'm so good at interviewing. They want their first-time author to come with me so that they can get practice in a low-level market before the PR firm then throws them into CBS News, ABC News. So I'm kind of like, what is that in baseball where you are the seed team? What is that called? They're
minor leagues.
The minor leagues, but they actually call them like seed teams. I know it's a sports analogy, but I remembered that. I'm like, oh my God, I'm the seed team or whatever they call that in baseball, where before you make it to the majors, you go through this training process so that you get things polished up and beautiful, so that when you go on to the bigger ones, you're not just walking out and frozen because of what's happening. So I told them I'd be more than happy to be that person for them as long as they took my media kit course. So it's win, win, win. Everybody's winning, and we're helping messages get out there that was before was impossible. Yeah.
And for all these aspiring authors, I'm sure they don't need to know about money or how that works. So there's not going to be an opportunity there.
Yeah, there's no need for cross-pollination or debt-free living or anything, because I always encourage business owners. I say, when you first start, you have an idea, you have all this energy, you have all this time, you're low on funds, don't you dare go into debt for your business. And so then that feeds them right into the 60-40 principle.
Yep.
And it's one of those things that people are like, oh, so you can catch them coming or going, get them either way. And I'm like, whoa, that's not at all the business model that I have spent the last 20 years building. It's like, my business model is, if my clients aren't being insanely successful, then I have failed as a human being on planet Earth. This is all about trying to help them understand financial literacy so that they can move forward with their purpose, they can move forward with their message, because their message is why I'm here, is to help them have that voice and speak it. Yeah.
Yeah, same. Some people are like, well, wait a second, you're just doing this course and giving this information away so that people will make money and then do their financial savings and investing with you. And it's just like, wait a second, I just help struggling business owners embrace wealth and prosperity. And I just teach them. And if they want to work with me, that's great. Yeah. But I'd rather help somebody and create and generate wealth than go hunt them down. It's like, no, I just want to offer and be of service. And it's fun. It's like diversifying. And it's just like jumping from creativity point to creativity point to creativity point and being inspired instead of just focusing and getting bored. So I'm so super honored that you just reached out to tell me your success, Janine.
I thought it was important. I know how much I love it as a business owner when somebody says, I did your 60-40 principle, I read your book, I'm out of debt, it took me 18 months. See, you know, it's the long game, right? We don't hear from our clients immediately because it takes some time and processing and all that. So anywho, at some point I do want you on my show so that we can talk about YouTubers, because what I am now building, this is totally by accident, but it needs to happen, is when I started the Facebook group and everybody started hitting it with their books and all that, I realized I need podcasters that are willing to take authors on to their shows as well. And then also I want to feed them into, this is how you set up a YouTube channel and you read your book. Like I'm telling authors, look, you sit there and you talk about how it's so expensive to have somebody do your audiobook. Why don't you read the book to people on your YouTube channel and then have people like you figure out ways to make it profitable? Like you can make the link so everything's private, so people have to pay to get access to those videos. And I said, and it's wonderful if somebody's listening to your book, especially the children's authors, to have the author read that book to a kid, and then you don't have to worry about a professional voiceover actor or anything. You're just reading a bedtime story to somebody's child, and they don't worry about putting that video on and letting the kids sit there and listen to it on their tablet.
Yeah.
So those are things that I've seen happen. So that's why I'm really excited. So I'd like to get you on so that other people learn about that course that you have going on. By the way, I haven't even finished it. I've been too busy. It's like things exploded before I could finish your course. I've only done what, the first three units or something. It's insane.
Yeah, there's more coming.
I know.
Working with other people, because there's people who have books, there's people who have courses, there's people who are speakers, there's people who are courses, and every one is going to be a different strategy. And so it's just going to keep getting better and better and better. And your authors, I would love to work with a few of them to create specific, focused, aligned strategies for them specifically, because it's.
Well, that's another thing that we could work on. So for you was the fact that I would love to be able to start funneling people to the tortoise and hare as well. And I'd like to do a whole series on that. But then there's the other series of helping authors with, and it's all money. One is cutting your expenses and saving money like crazy and investing and making sure you have the insurances to secure the wealth and protect it to the best of your ability. But then the other side is increase your income. And I've always struggled with that. And I realized, I just need to start teaching people business. And so there's basic business principles that we can teach, and skill sets, right? So what you want to do,
more collaboration, more fun, more helping, more service, more conversation.
And we can do these things at, I want to keep them short. 2 hours and $37 will give you bleh. That seems to be it. People are like 2 hours, and I'm guaranteed a nugget at the end of that for $37. And I have the floodgates open on that. So let me know what you want to do together, and we can build it. And
Let's schedule some time.
Thanks for watching this video presented by Tortoise and Hare Financial Affairs. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you'll get updates on our daily, weekly, and our monthly educational video releases. And also consider watching these other empowering videos to enhance your financial trajectory. See you on the next video.